Being late June, we were already into hurricane season. We had to leave Dominica to St. Pierre, Martinique. We had a great motor sail and found a nice spot close to shore, but still away from others to not feel crowded. Per usual, arriving on Sunday, everything was shut down tight, but we got checked in and wandered through the town. St. Pierre is a town and commune of France founded in 1635. It was the most important city of Martinique, culturally and economically, being known as the Paris of the Caribbean. The Great Hurricane of 1870 produced storm surge of 8 meters, destroying all houses and killing 9,000 people. The town was again destroyed in 1902 by the eruption of Mount Pelée, killing 28,000. There were only 3 survivors: a young girl, a gentleman that lived on the edge of town, and a prisoner named Louis Auguste Cypress, who later toured with Barnum and Bailey Circus. According to legend, there had been rumbling noises from the volcano for 2 weeks prior, but the mayor had the town blocked off to prevent people from leaving during an election. The city was never restored to its former entirety, but as of 2023, the population was around 3,671, with the overall population of Martinique being 346,000. Pulling up anchor, we had 4 hours down the coast to Fort de France. We found a spot with a great view of the fort, but be aware of the ferries going back and forth throughout the day, so getting a spot closer to shore helps with the wake. We toured the town and had dinner at La Boucherie, or the butcher shop. Fort de France is known for its vibrant markets, colonial architecture, and historical sites such as Fort St. Louis, a fortress that overlooks the bay. The city's lively atmosphere and cultural diversity make it a fascinating place to explore. Unfortunately, we had to check out early because it's looking like Hurricane BRET is well on its way and we do not want to be in its path. This is the reason our trip south has been hurried, so we do not get caught in a storm. We left Martinique at 9 a.m. for an overnight passage to Grenada. The sailing was great early on, but we wound up having to turn the motor on during the night. Evidently, our autopilot was never properly calibrated for the open ocean because we often get the rudder response message and it just shuts off completely. So Barry had to hand steer for hours. We anchored at the back of an already crowded anchorage, just in front of this large red tug. We checked in, walked the town, and settled in for the night. Just after midnight, we were awoken by a bump. The tide had gone out, and the tug's anchor lines slacked, causing it to drift into our boat. Waking up having a huge red wall just outside your bedroom window is not what you want to see. We pushed off from the tug, and Barry stayed up all night to keep us from bumping again. As it got light outside, all hell broke loose. Although Hurricane BRET didn't hit us directly, we were getting the outer effects. The wind kicked up to 42 plus knots, with rain and boats dragging all throughout the anchorage. Our friends on wild horses had another boat drag into them. We were unable to help them because we were still so close to the tug, and boats were dragging all around us. All we could do was watch in horror as our friends fought to save their boat.
Oh, look at that dinghy. The dinghy's like smashed in between the two.
The following information is Mike and Victoria's account of their experience that day. The night of the storm wasn't too bad. Definitely windy, but everyone in the anchorage seemed to be well set. The next day, everything changed. The storm got a little wilder and windier, and several of the boats in the anchorage started to drag anchor. About 8:15, one of those boats dragged into wild horses. I saw it coming at us, but there was no time to do anything to avoid the collision. The boat was a 47-foot sailboat, older than Wild Horses, but well equipped with lots of gear on deck and a dinghy hoisted and stored on her port side. Her name was Nirvana, and she was manned by a young couple who had just bought her a few months ago. We also learned later that they had an undersized anchor and a non-functioning anchor windlass and mechanical issues with their boat engine. For 2 hours we fended off the boat. Her rudder had wrapped around our anchor chain, and she was pinned against our hull, our rigging entangled and her dinghy sideways between our boats with its motor scratching its way around our hull. In the pouring rain, I tried to fend her off while Mike stayed at the helm, managing the boat direction. The weight of Nirvana caused excessive strain on our anchor. We were basically holding two 47-foot sailboats on our 88-pound Rockna, which held great. Our mindset during all this? We were not panicking, but we did feel the stress of trying to get out of this mess with no easy solution in sight. Mike even called out on the VHF for someone with a well-powered dinghy to help. Someone came along, but they couldn't untangle us. As a last-ditch effort, Mike strongly powered Wild Horses forward and bow thrusted to starboard. That allowed Nirvana's anchor chain to slack enough to fall off of our rudder. Yes, we were free of Nirvana, and they drifted past our port side towards the open water, barely missing a few other boats. We learned later that another cruiser had to tow them into the dock after the storm passed. The damage to Wild Horses was minimal. Our port navigation light was gone, and we had some scratches along our bow and port side, but incredibly, there was no other damage. Nirvana didn't get off so easy. They sustained deep hull scratches, her dinghy was almost ruined, her stanchions and bowsprit were twisted and broken. The dinghy motor was destroyed. The most important thing is that no one got hurt in the whole ordeal. At some point, the rain slacked, hopefully allowing the situation to be a little more manageable. I did not get a video of the boats separating, but I know everyone was tired, stressed, and relieved, and ready for a strong drink. We were so excited to be here, even though this was not the welcome to Grenada we were hoping for, but it was exactly the reason we hurried to get this far south. Luckily, no one was hurt, and hopefully we all learned from this experience. At the end of the day, all you can say is, "But did you die?"